Hello, everybody, and welcome to Talking Reds. I'm your host, Alessandro Champa, and this is a new YouTube channel where we'll be talking about Toronto FC news, updates, and scores. And these videos will be posted about every 3 to 4 days, depending on how the season goes. As you know, right now they've just started preseason. They're going to travel to Miami, Florida, about today or tomorrow. They're gonna try and see what's working. We're gonna try to see what's working. Let us know in the comments anything to improve. This is gonna be new for you, and I hope this video gets a lot of views. Hope we get out there and start growing this YouTube channel. First, I want to talk about the press conferences. There was 3 press conferences, preseason press conferences before they actually did head out to Miami. It was hosted in Toronto today. So first we had our brand new coach, John Herdman, and he is saying here he was very excited with the group. He knows that it's gonna be a huge work in progress here in Toronto. He's saying that there's going to be more signings, which I hope, because we've literally only signed one person throughout the before the start of the season, throughout the January transfer window. Although you can make trades in MLS, but we'll have to see here. He says there's going to be a big squad improvement, and the squad is work in progress. As we're just in preseason, they can make signings, which I hope they do. And then he's still saying that this is a rebuilding process, which of course it is. From the season they've had before, that was the worst Toronto FC I've ever witnessed in my life. But he's saying there's ongoing roster build right now. But there's a lot of leadership being put to the table. He's saying there has to be a huge culture change, just in mentality and attitudes and stuff like that. Not with just the leaders, but with the whole squad in general. And he's saying he wants things to be more physical and more getting to know the players when they arrive in Florida. He wants this to be a learning process, because this is his first job as a club coach, and not with the Canadian men or the Canadian women's or Canadian youth national teams. And when they go to California, they will be more focusing on tactics, as this is one we're gonna probably know when the squad when most of the squad is gonna be announced. We don't know yet if TFC2 players will be integrated into the team. We don't know if there's going to be any trades going on, because this is what you can do with it. And then, he's saying leadership is key. Having a good voice in the room is going to be key, which they're saying they're going to announce a captain in the next 2 or 3 days here. He's saying the captains or assistant captains like Insigne, Sean Johnson, Osorio, Bernadeschi, they need to be a key voice, and they need to step up. They've had meetings, they've talked over different things, different goals for the season. But he's saying that there will be a captain, and honestly, guys, I think that it'll be Jonathan Osorio, just because he's one of the proven leaders, and you can tell by his body language and his voice tone that he knows what he's doing with this team, and which is a big improvement from last year, where we were missing Michael Bradley, who's now retired mostly from injury throughout the season. And then he's saying, talking about signings, he's saying about Davy Flores, the new signing, the new Honduran from the Hungarian league that they've just signed. He's saying he's a creative midfielder. He's saying this is what Toronto was lacking, which, let's be honest, the only good midfielder last year was Jonathan Osorio, and he was in and out of games too with international duty with the Canadian men's national team, especially in the Gold Cup and internationally. He's saying he's a fierce warrior, which Jonathan Osorio also says during his press conference too. So they're kind of on the same page, and they're excited to hear about and to see how he plays, because most of the squad it's gonna be a new play style for Flores, and the squad wants to see how he's doing, and then and he wants to improve on defense too. He said he wants that more of the assistant coaches to be involved in this process. He's saying center backs are key, which for sure we were missing here last year. We need good center backs. He was mentioning names like Shane O'Neill, which he was kind of injured. We didn't really get to see his full potential last year. I think 2022 season was kind of like a write-off. It was kind of like first impressions. He's still getting used to the Toronto club culture, and he's saying other parts of the pitch need to be defended well, including CM. And he's saying that not only can he attack up the pitch with Flores here, he can also he's just complete everywhere. He can play any type of style, and he's saying it really fits his system. Playing against him. When he was playing with Honduras in the national team, he learned a lot of new things, and he's excited to have Flores as a new midfielder for Toronto FC, and I hope this turns out as we'll get to Flores' comments later in the video, but he is also saying, as I have here in my notes, talking about Tyrese Spicer, our number 1 overall pick in the MLS Super Draft from Trinidad and Tobago. He's saying it's a big step up, and he wants to see how from double NCAA, which is University of Soccer, to MLS, how it's going to be a big improvement. Big step up for him. He wants to see how aggressive he can be on the ball, not just in attacking positions, but an all-around player. He calls him like a maverick, and he's saying that he fits into the system, which I kind of agree with. I've seen some of Tyrese Spicer highlight tapes, and he's similar to Alphonso Davies in a sense when he plays striker for Canada under John Herdman there. It makes a lot of sense for him to be in that role, but we don't know yet who's going to be a striker. Is it going to be Diomande, who was injured for the whole season almost? He only played I think 2 games. I think he was off the bench or starting against DC United, and then I think he got injured, which was really disappointing because that's a huge contract, and unfortunately it's not like the NHL where you have that cap space. You have to keep him on injured reserve, and you have to pay him that contract from compensation from FIFA. But I'm excited to see if Diomande is going to play a big role, and I feel like he had rest time. He had time to prepare, and he's gonna be prepared for the season here. He wants the team to be committed to each other. That's what he's saying that we're lacking, and we saw that with that video. If you don't see it, it's on MLS Season Pass. There's a video of John Herdman just explaining what he's gonna bring to the table, and a huge key part of it was commitment. He keeps mentioning commitment a lot with Canada. With the women's team, with the men's team, and now transferring it over to Toronto FC. He's saying in these training sessions, as they've started training sessions in the cold Toronto weather. I think it's indoors. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think it's indoors. He's saying Kerr, who was surprisingly our top scorer coming off the bench for like half of the season, and then he just popped off towards the end of the season. Was finishing with the most goals. He's saying those spots are open, maybe coming in, testing some attacking players on the line he was mentioning from Toronto FC 2 or Toronto FC 3 that can make a big step up coming to the first team squad. And then, we have Ayo Akinola. He was praising Ayo Akinola, even though Ayo Akinola went on loan to San Jose Earthquakes during the middle of the season. He's saying, he's very familiar with the guy, and he knows his capability, and he knows his play style, and he knows that he can get the best out of Ayo Akinola, which is an option there. And then you have Tyrese Spicer, who is the number 1 overall pick. I don't know if he is going to be coming. He's going to be coming off the bench. Maybe he'll be getting like 20-30 minutes a game. But it's nice to hear that he wants to give a lot of the younger guys a good chance in the squad. And then we have our final comment from John Herdman, saying that he wants attitude, or his second last comment is that he wants a change in attitude from Federico Bernardeschi and Insigne here at Toronto FC, and he had like 1 or 2 conversations. He was saying with Federico Bernardeschi and Lorenzo Insigne here. He was saying that they felt committed. As you can tell, there's a pattern with the word commitment and John Herdman, but it feels like he was also going hard on them too at the same time, saying that they need an attitude change, which for sure we need it, because if you can see, you've seen videos of online of Insigne in the press box getting into it with fans and stuff like that. And Bernardeschi, the reports coming out from Joshua Cloak and The Athletic of him vaping on the team plane or during training or in the locker room and stuff like that. Those standards needed to be set for the both of them, and they feel like this is another breathing chance for them, and this is why they deserve another chance at Toronto FC. And then we have, as you might remember, this is the last part of John Herdman's press conference that I've jotted down here. It's probably one of the most notable ones, surprisingly. He's already getting involved in the squad. Obviously, he is very vocal about it, but there's an injury update on Brandon Cervenia, who had, as you might remember, if you watched the game, torn his ACL around just after halftime against Inter Miami in the game in Miami where they had lost 3-0. And he's saying optimistically, which I'm guessing we're having the same situation with Bob Bradley, just gonna probably get the same questions. John Herdman's gonna get the same questions. Bob Bradley, which I don't even want to talk about right now, but I have to, about just Lorenzo Insigne's health and stuff like that. When's he gonna come back? And I feel like this is gonna be a repeated question for John Herdman. When is Brandon Cervenia gonna come back? This and that. But he's saying right now he's not giving a clear answer, but it's the clearest we can get right now. He's saying just by June. So he's probably going to miss, like 3 months of the season. So thank God he's not going to miss League's Cup here. But optimistic June. You know what? I'm taking that because he had torn his ACL. And that's a long process. coming to an end of the season. It's a long process with surgeries and rehabilitation and stuff like that, rehab and therapy and stuff like that. So I'm hoping and praying that Cervania comes back in like April or May or something like that. But we'll have to see. And then the second interview they had is with our new signing here, Davy Flores, the Honduran from the Hungarian league. He is coming over from the Hungarian league. He says he's excited to get another opportunity in MLS, as he had previously had played for the Vancouver Whitecaps, and he's excited to get the opportunity to play with all these great players, and he wants to show what he's capable of, which is a really positive start to your career at Toronto FC already, as he's making these good comments already about the team. You know, he's a very positive body language, very positive vocal, very positive voice tone, and this is what you like to hear. And I feel like last season, even our new signings felt very down, like Sean Johnson. I don't know what's going on with him, but I feel like he has to just step up too. Like I feel like this is a brand new opportunity for players like Davy Flores that are coming for a second chance or third chance to play at an MLS side. He's saying it's taken a toll on him coming from Europe to North America, Toronto specifically. He has to move all his family over here, and he is honored to play for this team, for this badge, and wants to win championships. That's most notable what has gone on for Davy Flores here, and he's saying it'll be a bit different. He's a bit experienced at MLS, but it's gonna be a complete culture change in the way, in the style of football they're gonna play here in the MLS, and he's calling it a very exciting opportunity. And then finally we have probably most likely the captain, Jonathan Osorio. Probably is gonna be the captain. I'm saying 99% chance that Jonathan Osorio is gonna be the captain, the new captain of Toronto FC. I can say it already. I'm gonna bet my house on it. I'm gonna say that Jonathan Osorio will be the captain of Toronto FC for the next coming years. I would say for the next 3-4 years is probably when he's gonna retire. He will be the captain for Toronto FC for the rest of his career. Now, what I don't like about this, though, I've previously stated it to other Toronto FC fans here. I don't like how he's in another DP spot. He's taken our third DP spot, and Bill Manning is just the first process here. But I think, you know what? It's a learning process. It's gonna be a learning process for Osorio here, as he's had Michael Bradley alongside with him for his entire career as a professional footballer. But it's gonna be an exciting experience for him. Let's say if he gets the captain, as I previously stated, I'm saying I'm betting my house on Jonathan Osorio to be the next captain of Toronto FC. He is very positive. His voice sounds like a vocal voice, a leader's voice, a very positive mentality coming from Toronto FC. He's saying, one question was asked from John Molinaro, stating, have you forgotten about the 2023 season, which was our worst season for Toronto FC? He's saying, kind of forgot about it now, but as soon as going back to BMO Field for the second leg of the Copa America qualifiers against Jamaica here, he's saying it kind of came back to me, but it's a fresh new start and everything's going to be okay. This is positive. This is great. I love to hear this from Jonathan Osorio. I was telling you right now, I thought that Michael Bradley was going to retire, but this is not the case from last year. I thought he was going to retire in 2023. I thought he was going to retire at the start of the season specifically. But it's new opportunities for Osorio, and I'm happy. But we'll have to see, because they're going to do some training there for about a week or two. And they have their first game against preseason game against Nashville SC here. Not here, but in Miami, Florida. So they're going to be training, they're going to be assessing, doing medicals. This is what they're going to be doing for the next week or two. Trying to bring in some people that played maybe like semi-professionally and try them out for the first team squad, or TFC 2, TFC 3. So it's probably the next process, and we'll update you when more news comes in. But for now, things are looking positive. Everything's looking positive. Brandon Cervina injury news, captain news, 99% chance that Jonathan Osorio is going to become captain, and we'll have to see from there. We'll have to see. I'm probably going to make a vid in like a week or two, just explaining how things are updating with the training sessions and stuff like that. How John Herdman is assessing things as his first time as a club coach, so we'll have to see here. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Talking Reds, and we'll see you soon. Come on, you Reds!